Alrighty, time for those Chapter 5 projects. Let's get right into it. We got sum.java, and this is the, what was that called again? That was at the sum of numbers project, but let's see. So we've got import the scanner, that way we can get keyboard input in a minute. Go ahead and declare our class sum, and then we just jump right into the main method. I would declare a new scanner to get keyboard input. It's called key. Got our variables in and sum, and in here will hold the number that they want us to add up to. That's given by the user and prompted for right here, and then we store that input in, and the sum is going to be calculated here in this loop, and it'll run between 1 and all the way up to in, including in, and it'll continue to add the loop counter there to it, and that'll give us the sum of all the numbers between 1 and n. So let's go ahead and give that a try. Let's see. Here we go. So then we'll enter, like, say 4, and the sum of all integers from 1 to 4 should be 10. Let's see, I think you can see my calculator here. Here we go. Yeah. So we got like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 10. And I've tested this out and did that math like that with 50 as well. I'll do that too. So it works with larger numbers as well. Okay, good. Let me jump over here to our coin.java here. And this is the coin toss program. So we don't even need keyword input on this project. So we've got we start out and declare our class coin, and it's got a field side up, which holds the name of the side that's facing up, so either heads or tails. It's blank by default. And then we have a constructor that calls the toss method. Now down here we've got our toss method. It doesn't return anything, but it will generate a random number between 0 and 1, and then if it's 1, it'll make side up tails. Otherwise, it'll be heads. And then we've got our get side up method, and this returns the side that's facing up. So now we test this thing out here. We've got our heads count and tails count variables, and these hold the number of times that the coins landed has heads facing up or tails facing up. So then we declare a new coin called coin, and we display the initial side, because the loop wouldn't work. It's a lot easier to just do that there, because this actually does create an initial side by calling the toss method. And I'm going to get right into our loop, and it can determine which one it's equal to by looking at side up. So I use that just like coin.get side up, and if it equals heads, it'll increment the heads count. Otherwise, it increments the tails count. And then at the very end, it'll display how many times heads was facing up and how many times tails was facing up. So let's run that, and we can see it prints it out each time. So like tails, heads, 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 tails, and it goes on. And it says heads was facing up 10 times, tails was facing up 10 times. It's funny, you can kind of see how 50-50 chances really work here, but yes. And then we got heads was facing up 8 times, tails was facing up 12 times. So that works. And then we've got this one we will need keyword input, so we import the scanner and declare our class random. This is the random number guessing game. This is random.java, so we got our random class, and then we jump right into our main method, declare a new scanner called key. We have our variables, random number guess and not correct, and we use these. I use this for the loop to tell when to quit, make the loop stop. And this holds the user's guess, and this is the random number that's generated. Now, just thinking about, had some problems with like trying to get between 1 and 10 instead of 0 and 10. So if it's less than 1, if it's 0, the loop will generate another number. And it'll generate a random number, though, between 1 and 10 using that. Then we ask the user for a guess, and prompt them there, that way that the loop will work better. It's a lot easier for me to write that. And then we got while not correct. So while their guess is still not correct, it'll ask for another guess, and then if their guess is equal to the random number, it'll tell them that they got it, and it'll tell them what the random number is, and then otherwise not correct, and it'll say not correct is false, which ends the loop and ends the program. And if it says if their guess is greater than the random number, it'll tell them it's too high, try again, and if their guess is less than the random number, it'll tell them that their guess was too low, to try again. So let's give this thing a shot here. Let's see what happens. Too low. Ooh. Second try. You guessed it. Random number was 10. Let's try it again. See if we can get a more interesting game. Too high. Too low. Too high. You guessed it. The random number was 3. So yep, that's how that works. Alright, that wraps up the Chapter 5 projects.